friend, Molly Carmel, fiercely devoted to your freedom. I want to talk about the 66-day plan in my book. My book, Breaking Up with Sugar, gives you this awesome 66-day plan where you take vows and there's food you eat. You know the deal. And it's 66 days long. And the question is always asked, what about day 67? And here's the thing, I'm a long-term relationship girl. Like, I feel as though I've been assigned on this earth to help you to find the most loving, peaceful, fun, whatever you want, but a long-term relationship with food. And frankly, that takes more than 66 days. The reason that I chose 66 days, and by the way, I didn't choose a 3-day cleanse, a 5-day cleanse, a 7-day cleanse, a 30-day cleanse, which I see all the time in diet culture, is because 66 days, the research supports that at 66 days is when your brain starts to get an automacy. It's when this starts to feel intuitive. It's when you really, really create a habit. And that's what we're looking for here, right? Because make no terms about it, my love. You have to be in a relationship with food. This is an unavoidable fact. So I hope that you didn't think that like on day 67, you just get to cut and run back to sugar. You have every right to do that, but you know how that story goes, right? Like, then you're just back in the diet cycle, you're back in the diet drama, you're back in the diet trauma. So, you know, option one is this. Day 66, you're on plan. Day 67, you're on plan, right? Especially for those of you looking to release weight or just generally happy with this new and amazing freedom that you found with food. I mean, my favorite saying is, if you never leave the basics, you never need to go back to the basics. And frankly, my life 10 and a half years later looks a whole lot like the first 66 days. But that brings me to my next point. So let's say it's day 67 and you're like, what are my other options, Molly? I mean, there are some. It's a wonderful opportunity at day 67 to just do an evaluation of your current relationship with food. But again, I want you to really, really think about, because the thing about the 66 days is that's just like the first point that maybe your brain started to say like, oh yeah, I can do this. Like, it's very possible, if not probable, that your brain needs a little bit more time, especially if you're like me and you were in the very bottom of the barrel when you came to this. So I just want to give another shout out to maybe give yourself a little bit more time in the 66-day plan. But let's say you're like, what else do you have on offer for me, Molly? Well, listen, there's a lot of opportunity, right? And there's actually a whole chapter in the book called Humble Eating that says, hey, take a look, see what's working, see what isn't working, go try some new things out. None of these things that we're trying out are cookies, cupcakes, baguettes, right? Like going on big runs of binges, having cheat days, all the things that I think are basically in the graveyard if you really, really want a loving and healthy relationship with food. But you're the boss, applesauce. So day 67, take a little look. I don't know. Maybe you want to be like trying to add in some almond flour or some chickpea pasta. Maybe you want to be looking at your alcohol intake and doing less. Maybe you want to be adding a snack or taking away a snack. I mean, the beauty of it is that your relationship with food is a relationship for life, you know? It's kind of ride or die if you think about it. So the thing is, on day 67, if you're gonna go try some of what we call humble eating and go try some new things, you can always come back to the basics. And final plug, maybe you don't need to leave them. Maybe day 67 is a rejoice. It's an excitement. It's I can't believe I just did this for 66 days. And the most loving and kind thing I can do for myself and this new relationship that's blossoming and blooming is to make day 67 look a whole lot like day 66. I mean, depending on where you are in the diet drama and trauma, depending where you are in the releasing of all of this, this is where your power lies. You have the power of choice. And the thing is, if you go off and go into humble eating and you find like, I don't like this, I'm not releasing weight, or I'm feeling out of control, or my brain's getting really loud, that's okay. You know exactly where to go back. And listen, talking about back, I've got your back. And I want to hear all about what you think about day 67. Listen, just breaking up with sugar is going on a diet. We are in the long-term relationship game, and that means fostering a loving and fun and relationship full of integrity and excitement. Like, this is a new game, so let's play it. No going back to the old ways. Like, come on, those dog days are over. What do you think about all of this? I need to know. Here's how I know. I check comments like a mad woman. So can you leave me some? I love this conversation. I think it's such an important one because it's a totally new way of looking at your new relationship with food. Those diet days are over. And also, I don't know, if you're into this video, why don't you like it? Why don't you send it to a friend? And if you love to be on the VIP list, I love to be on the VIP list, subscribe to the channel. You'll be the first to know when we're posting things. And I'll be really grateful for it. But in any case, just here, I adore you and I'm rooting hard for you.